Hello and welcome to another episode of eScoot Talks. So this is our fifth episode, and in this episode I'm going to be talking about Kugoo electric scooters because, well, they're quite popular and there's so many different Kugoo models out there. I'm going to be talking about Kugoo scooters that so far came to us with repairs, and I'm kind of going to share with you what's the most common faults on those scooters, and based on that you can make your conclusion. Do you want to buy that scooter or not? I'm gonna also of course share which scooters, if I would go for Kugoo scooter, which scooters I would get from them and which scooters I would definitely avoid. This is an episode that I actually wanted to bring much earlier, and I'm partly glad that I didn't do it too early because lots of things changed in the last year, and actually I wanted to make this episode 2 years ago as a podcast. So okay, let's start with models, and then at the end I'm just gonna share a couple of more informations with you. So first model that we have here is Kugoo Mini 2. It's kid scooter. I already said in my previous episodes I'm against buying electric scooters for kids, but okay, this one actually, it's not too fast, so maybe if I would go for a scooter for kids, and if I wouldn't have money for a Segway kid scooter, then I would probably maybe go for this, because it comes for under 200 euros, and with that price tag, what you get for what you pay, it doesn't seem too bad. We had only one of those in that actually there was a problem starting a scooter, but that was actually just because I'm not sure actually, uh, is it the case that the customer actually never even got the user manual, or they just never read the user manual. Other than that, no problems about it. Solid tire is something that I don't like, but there is one thing that's actually quite unique. This Kugoo was the first scooter that came with the foot throttle. So I think there are actually now a couple of scooters that have a foot throttle, but this was the first one. And I like innovations. I like when people try something different and they're trying to be creative. So yeah, seeing this on a Kugoo scooter actually quite surprised me, and I did actually quite like it. Now let's go to the next one. Next one is Kugoo Kirin S1. Now S1 scooter looks really nice. Like those grips are super nice and soft. There's no cables, no visible cables on the scooter. So there's no cables that your kid can broke. This is also considered a kid scooter, but it has solid tires, something that I don't like. We had 3 of them with the broken mud guards, and it's not too easy to get those mud guards. And we had one of those scooters that came first with a faulty controller. After replacing a faulty controller, dashboard ended up being faulty as well, and then the customer actually ended up just giving up on the repair because it ended up being way too costly. So yeah, that scooter was actually at the end never repaired. As I said, okay, not too bad, not too many problems with them, but those mud guards breaking, that's a bit of a downside. Now next one is actually one of the first type of the Kugoo scooter that came out, comes out under a couple of different names. It's Kugoo S1. That was the first one that came out. Uh, I didn't like it too much, okay? But it actually didn't end up being that bad. We had some of them with the problem with batteries, and that's mainly because of solid tires and all the vibrations and bumpy roads here in Ireland. Except for that, I was actually hoping that their controllers are going to be failing much more than they're actually failing. Nice part is actually this connector on a motor, so in case you need to replace a tire on that motor, especially because it's a solid tire, at least you can take that motor totally off the frame and it's going to be a bit easier to maneuver and, you know, replace those tires. And one quite nice thing is actually adjustable handlebar. So even it's going to be okay for someone shorter or maybe for kids. And another nice thing is actually those, like, you know, really lots of LED lights in a headlight. So definitely headlight, you are going to be visible. Taillight is really small, way too small. And the big downside on this scooter are actually dashboards, because those scooters get water damage quite a lot, where water gets in the dashboard, and dashboard is the most common problem of Kugoo S1. Now next one is Kugoo Kirin S4. We had only one of them in for repair recently. It's kind of, that scooter came to the market actually quite recently, so it's not too popular out there. Well, there are not too many of them sold, but only issue with that scooter was actually a problem with the throttle, with the Hall sensor in the throttle. We fixed it, but then the plastics in the throttle broke, so came in back again. We replaced the throttle that wasn't easy to source, and yeah, there's no problem on it since then. Now this Kugoo is, just a moment, I'm sorry, I don't remember all the models. I know them by looks, don't remember all the names. Was that, oh, M2 Pro. So if you're wondering what's my favorite Kugoo scooter or what would be my choice, well, it's this one, M2 Pro, and there are a couple of reasons. So in 5 years doing repairs on electric scooters, we did get quite few of them in, but only punctures, nothing else except for punctures. It has some kind of a suspension. Replacing inner tube or tire on a rear wheel is not too difficult. Front wheel, same thing, because there is actually a cable connector for the front motor, so you can disconnect it, take it off, and it's much easier to replace tire or tube. Folding mechanism is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and the power button is actually on the side. It's not on top like on Xiaomi, so it's not going to get easily a water damage. And I think, you know, all that just made this scooter so reliable. Unfortunately, I was actually checking for a while, and it's actually quite hard to find them in a shop. But if you manage to find them for sale somewhere, yeah, they're quite good. And this is another Kugoo scooter that I would actually consider as well a good scooter, because again, this is the scooter that will come in only for a puncture repair, no other problems with those scooters. Taillight, this is actually, just a moment, this is G-Max, yeah, G-Max model. That taillight is really small, so I would like this to be improved. At some stage, the folding mechanism is super sturdy, so overall, like, you know, out of all Kugoo scooters, this actually has somehow kind of a good build quality, even that overall I don't consider Kugoo scooters very well built. Now next one is G2 Pro. G2 Pro also came to us mostly with just the puncture repairs. I was actually expecting this, actually, like, you know, it didn't seem too promising when it comes to a frame, and I was expecting them to maybe start breaking or whatever, but the only problem, we did see some of them, and some of them came in with broken stem exactly at the point where it's actually welded to a folding mechanism. Other than that, nothing much. When it comes to puncture repairs, it's not too complicated, but it's not too simple, so you need to have some skills if you want to do it yourself. And headlight is not something crazy, taillight either, but okay, as I said, not many of them came with those issues. Now next one is what's that? That's Kugoo Kirin G1. Okay, at least I have it here. Yeah, G1 actually it says here. Apparently waterproof Kugoo scooter, but with solid tires. Okay, Kugoo scooter goes quite, that's like not the slowest, but it has solid tires. I don't like those solid tires. I would much more prefer pneumatic tires. Replacing them is going to be super difficult. It has a built-in lock. That's a nice feature. It comes actually under Kugoo and a couple of other brands. Um, so like it's hard to say because there are not too many of them out there, but it doesn't seem necessarily too bad. Build quality, except as I said, for the solid tires and the drum brake on the front wheel. Positive thing of a drum brake is that there is not too much maintenance on them, but also you're not going to get a crazy braking performance. Okay, on the front wheel you don't even necessarily need the best possible braking performance. I would rather like to see a brake on a rear wheel. Now this model probably, everybody knows. It's the most selling Kugoo scooter, Kugoo Kirin M4, and it's the scooter that comes to our workshop the most. Like this is our most common client. When M4 came in, first model of M4 that came out was, I'll be honest, like, sorry guys from Kugoo, sorry sellers, it was absolute rubbish. It was the worst scooter out there. Well, then Aavo came. Aavo ended up being even worse rubbish than Kugoo M4. Cheapest possible, nuts and bolts, everything getting really rusty really quickly. Like, it was just so bad. Like, if you get the Kugoo M4 and let's say Xiaomi, and if you abuse them, Kugoo is gonna fall apart. Kugoo M4 is gonna fall apart much quicker. Original tires that come are probably the cheapest possible tires they could have get, so they're super soft, and you will probably need to upgrade to better tires pretty soon, because otherwise you're just gonna be getting punctures all the time. But taillights are failing quite often, headlights are failing quite often, and data communication cables, uh, ignition switches, dashboards, not too much, but they do break as well. I'm actually quite glad to see when it comes to Kugoo M4 that recently they started changing. So they changed the folding mechanism. This folding mechanism, there's not that many problems with them. They redesigned the stem. There's not too many problems with the stem. And they actually redesign, they're using now different motors where the motor cable actually goes on the inner side of the rear fork, so they don't get damaged, because that was also quite common problem with M4. Like if you would hit a curb or something, yeah, you would just destroy your motor cable, and then finding someone who can actually replace that motor cable wasn't too simple and too easy. When it comes to M4 Pro, technically the same thing with just a bit bigger battery and off-road tires. Everything the same, just off-road tires again, super soft, cheapest possible tires, and people will be getting punctures quite often, and they would need to upgrade those tires to a bit better ones. Now the next one is G-Booster, Kugoo G-Booster. I'm still saying that out quite loud to everybody. Probably one of the biggest mistakes when it comes to electric scooters that I made. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, for a puncture repair, this is absolutely brilliant, because, you just need tire levers. You don't need any other tools except for tire levers to take off a tire, replace inner tube, put the tire back on, and that's it. Now, problem with that scooter was a valve behind the disc. So if you uh, try to monitor your tire pressure. You couldn't do that. Recently, I noticed that they started fitting different inner tubes that have a 90-degree bend valve, so that's much easier. Still, the problem is, for example, if you have a bent disc and you need to replace a disc, it's not going to be simple and easy. You will need to take a motor off, and yeah, so you need to open a deck. That's not simple and easy. That can be quite tricky. And then disconnect the motor, take the full motor off just to replace the disc. So it's not going to be quick, easy or cheap job if you bring it somewhere else to have it done. Also, some of them did broke on welds on a stem. Mud guards are too short, so they're not going to protect you. They're more for design than for and then to actually do something. And the stem is actually quite short, so if you're taller, uh, it's not the best for taller people, but like performance wise it's quite nice. It has a really nice power in a not too big format scooter, and suspensions also, as far as I saw, they can fail quite often, especially rear suspensions seem to be quite weak. And I saw lots of them, you know, that they're looking actually like choppers, more like choppers than scooters, where the rear suspension is all the way down. And this is going to be our last Kugoo scooter that we're going to be talking about. So this is Kugoo G1. It's actually a copy of 010X. Not a bad scooter, to be honest, because 010X is actually quite popular, and those scooters overall, I think that G1 is going to probably take over M4 in that higher performance class. Dual drive scooter with 65 kilometers per hour max speed. Everything same as 010X, technically, except it's 18 amp hour battery with China cells. A couple of upgrades are needed immediately, like on 010 or any other. You need a better rugged clamp. You would need to get a steering damper to avoid getting speed wobbles. Headlights are not going to be too bright. You're not going to see too much. And taillights are actually really good. They are quite visible, and the rear mudguard should be replaced with the upgraded mudguard because it's not long enough, and yeah, you are going to get some splashes on your trousers and your jacket. Other than that, it's a super comfortable scooter. Okay, it's so smooth, so soft. It's gonna take a little while to get used to it. Okay, so if you buy it, don't go crazy immediately. Get used to know the scooter, and yeah, uh, upgrade your brakes, because they come with mechanical brakes, and scooter that does 65 kilometers per hour, those brake calipers that come on that scooter are just too weak. So like I would definitely work on that. So that's going to be all in this episode regarding those Kugoo scooters. Now, a couple of words, just I don't want Kugoo as a manufacturer brand to hate me or anything like that. Like I hope that they understand positive creative criticism. And like as I said already, I'm glad that I actually made this episode now, because I see that they're doing changes, and I'm hoping that in, I don't know, 6 months or whatever, in some short near future, I'll be able to make this episode again and say, you know, guys, Kugoo improved so much. They are doing really much better scooters now. Because like, you know, some of those things, so as I said, all the scooters have the cheapest possible tires, you know. I know the prices of products in China, so like, you know, to get from those cheapest possible tires to something a little bit better, it would in total change it really wouldn't change the price too much. So, you know, tires, brakes, maybe better lights, better nuts and bolts, so that they're not going to be rusting that easily. We are talking, you know, maybe a bit better bell. We are talking about, you know, 20, 30, 50 euro more in a production price. So, and I'm 100% sure that people will definitely pay that 50 or even 100 euro more to get much better built quality scooter. Now, if you're a scooter seller, like, okay, at least you know now, which scooters are maybe not the best there to offer. If you're starting electric scooter selling business, hopefully this is going to help you to know, what to get and what to avoid. And I think that's like, yeah, that's probably the best, yeah, the best possible info I can give you and feedback regarding all my experience repairing scooters. And one more thing about Kugoo, okay? So Kugoo scooters don't have a smart BMS with the temperature sensors that are monitoring temperature cells. And that's, for me personally, a big pushback. So that's another thing that I would honestly really like to see on Kugoo scooters, because then I could say like, okay, Kugoo is now a really good brand, because there's so many different Kugoo models out there, and I would absolutely be happy if I would be able to, honestly really recommend Kugoo scooters. But because of those couple of things, I can't, because like, you buy a scooter and then you need to immediately invest a couple of €100, where manufacturer could have do that with all their bulk buying and everything. They could have do that much cheaper. But it is what it is. As I said, hopefully it's going to improve, and hopefully I'll be able to make another better episode regarding Kugoo. Some of people told me that, like, I'm talking maybe a little bit too slow. I apologize for that, but I hope you guys understand that I'm talking everything now when I'm doing video. Everything's coming out to my head, so I'm kind of, writing script in my head while I'm recording. Eventually, over some while, all those things are going to get better. So be careful what you're buying out there, okay? Make sure that you do your investigation to pick up a good enough scooter for you. And that's all for now. I will be chatting to you pretty soon. Have a nice day, evening, night, whatever. Bye bye.